Hey guys, LechK here in beautiful Hotel Vienna in Windham, New York, Catskill region, ski area, if you're into that stuff. Today, quick how-to video, how to assemble a Barrel Sauna. I'll show you guys a close-up exactly what we're going with. And yeah, basically we got a sauna coming to this hotel. So I'll put a link below to the hotel and all the info to the sauna we're using, and let me show you guys how to build it. So the sauna we're going with is by Redwood Outdoors. It's a cedar sauna with the porch, 6-person build. It's gonna have a Wi-Fi electric heater. And this is basically how it arrives. It's gonna be right by the pool house here. And I'm gonna unpack this, lay it all out, see what we have, and we can begin assembly. Once you unscrew the lid, that's how everything arrives. Beautiful Canadian red cedar. We even got a bucket and everything with it. Very nice. Let's lay it out, see what we got. So when putting up the sauna, you definitely want a level, solid foundation, which we are lucky enough to have in this case. You can set up on grass as well, but it's definitely better to have something solid underground, some paving blocks or whatever. And then this is where it's gonna go. Look at the pool right there, jacuzzi right there. We're gonna have a shower here later, and the sauna will be right here. So we got a little bit of rain and snow. It is January in the mountains, but that's not gonna stop us. I'm gonna show you guys first how to set up the base. You basically need to line up your middle stave over here. This is the one with the both rounded edges, because as you see, the ones that will go around it only have one edge rounded, the other one is indented, so they can all go into each other nice and smooth. And you want to have this about a foot from the end. You basically have pre-drilled holes already here, so line it up. Your drain hole here with the mesh net, make sure that's on the bottom and that it's not covered by one of the base stands. The same at the end. Make sure obviously this is facing upwards. That's where our walls will go. And now we're going to measure from edge to the middle to make sure everything's nice and level and even distance. And they do give you all the hardware, all the screws, nuts, bolts, even screwdriver bit. Everything's here labeled, so easy to move forward with. So let's do the base, and then we can start adding on the side staves. So like I just mentioned, make sure you're lined up with your holes here about a foot, but honestly it's less. It's about 9 inches, 9.5. And now basically just put in my tape measure over here to the edge here, and I'm at 24 inches, so it should be the same on this side. Alrighty. Now screw this piece down. Keep going. Put it back like this. I already checked, everything's level. Perfect, that's what we want. So we don't have to worry about that anymore. Line up with the screw over here. That's for this part. Now we just start adding on the staves on each side. Nail them down. Screw them in. And they are all the same, and there's a bunch of them. So you just want to make sure that these grooves are lined up and they're inside here. Outside is the little enclosure, so you don't want this being like this. This needs to be on this end over here. And make sure they all line up. First I'm going to put a few before I screw them down. And these, looks like we're probably going to pre-drill the holes. off a rubber mallet. But this all ends up pretty actually nice and even clean. You guys a little close up. What are we doing? So like I said, make sure this is all lined up. That's important. Otherwise, your walls will not line up and fit. That's our drain here. So I did notice all the wall studs are not pre-drilled, and I'm sure you can drill the screws into it just like they show in the directions, and you'll be fine. But if you have one of these bits or even a regular bit, make a nice recessed hole, use it, do it. It will help the wood, prevent it from cracking and so on. Like I mentioned, make sure this is nice and even here. I'm gonna start with the first one, right in the middle. Now I have a nice recessed hole. Next. So we'll keep going like this till I get to the edges, and then we can pop up, assemble our back and front walls. Also, one more thing, before you start screwing down the next ones, make sure the distance between each side is the same. You don't want them being crooked. So for example, right now between these two spaces I'm 35 inches. And over here, also 35 and 35. So I'm good. So now I can start screwing it all down. But keep checking the measurements, make sure it all lines up. Here's what it looks like. Solid. Now we assemble the front and the back wall, pop it in, and then we can keep working on our walls. Alrighty, so now we assemble the walls, and pretty straightforward. That's a nice groove here. Just gonna slide them in together. Make sure that the edges line up so you have a perfect circle. Tap in. And then we screw down with the same screws we did the base so far. And the holes are pre-drilled here. And same on the other end. Now we can pop this up, and same with the back one. Just be careful when you guys lift this. You should have 2 people, because as you see, the door's open, so you gotta keep this in place. You can technically remove them, but why mess with it? It's already assembled. So the back wall, the same idea, and if you notice, we have an indented groove here and the rounded groove here. So each side is different, so you know how they line up. All these pieces go on top, and there's 1 2x4 on the bottom here. So we'll start with the back first. Everything's pre-drilled also. Line this up. Make sure you got your round circle, edges are flush. Now we got our walls ready. Definitely get a hand so you can pop it up on the base together. Alrighty, we're gonna pop the walls in now. We're gonna start with the back, make sure it's level, front. Make sure you don't have any junk in these grooves. And then we can move on to the walls. So all these 2x4s go on the inside. Your benches and stuff will probably go on it. Pop this into our barrel cut or whatever it's called. Lift it a little. Sure it's level. We're gonna do a front wall now, and then we're good. Stable. Vent on top. Go. We're gonna make sure this is all level. We're gonna put a stave on top of it just to make sure they're not falling over. And then we can assemble, lock it into place, and it will hold both sides for you. Here's the inside view. Make sure everything's nice and level. I will go by the doors, because some of those side pieces here are not as level as the other ones. So I will go by the door. And same here with the shelves or with the bench section. So make sure that's all level. Or you even check the windows. But we are good on this one. Make sure your vent holes are on top. And then this is the one here. And now we're gonna start putting up the staves from the side. Work our way up on each side, all the way to the top. Before you start doing the walls, you start your door handle, otherwise you won't be able to open the door later. So it's these 2 pieces right here. This one is for the inside, this one's for the outside, so you can obviously grab it here. And it uses the 2 E-bolts. I'm not gonna use a power drill because I don't want to crack the glass. I mean, this is tempered glass, but still, you gotta be cautious with it. Pop it right through like this. That's it. Don't over tighten. If it's snug, it's good. And we got our door. Alrighty, so now we start doing our sidewalls. These are all marked. So these are, for example, the 12s, then there's 11s that go on the other side. Basically, that means the groove lines up with this side, and then these grooves line up with the walls correctly, because obviously this one won't work on the other side. One thing I forgot to mention, this is cedar, this is kiln dried, this is very light and brittle. If you drop it, it can break, it can, you know, chip, so be cautious with it when using these. And now basically for the wall, you just start popping them in one by one. Get them into the groove here, just like that. Give it a tap with a hammer, make sure it's in place. And that's it. As you start going up, they do give you these nails, they're about 2 inches long, to nail it to the walls here so they stay in place so they don't fall back. We are going to put the bands on it after to hold it all together, so the nails are truly not required, but you're going to need them just to hold this in place as you go up. I'm going to use a nail gun because the nails are honestly short, and these are finishing nails, 2.5 inch, so it's going to give a nice clean finish, no nails sticking out anywhere. I'm going to get my other one in, and this is what I mean. See, it's falling down. So get into place, give it a good tap to make sure it's fully in, and now I'm just going to hit it here. Here. Actually, the nails will be fine. I forgot that the grooves are cut in, but finished nails just look nicer. You have no nails showing. So we just keep going up like that. All the way to the top, to the other side, and then I'll show you guys the finishing touches up top. Alrighty guys, so as you noticed on the time lapse, I did the other wall first, test and trial, and I realized nail gun works fine, but as you tapping them in, these finishing nails can pop out because of the thin finish here of the wood. So you do have to use the regular nails. They're actually telling you to use it every other one. So what I've been doing is I use the actual nails every other one to hold strong support. So when I tap the next beam down, you know, it doesn't push it out. And then I'm using nail gun for the other ones, just for extra security. So for this one, I'm going to use the regular nail. Tap. And now technically you can skip this one, just have the next one hold it. But I have my nail gun, why not use it? do like to come out, and I want them as closest to the wall as possible. It's gonna make that much easier to tighten the bands later. I'll keep going, show you guys how to finish the top. So basically, once you get over the edge here and they're not falling out anymore, you don't have to nail them. I was still nailing them just to make sure it's nice and secure. But now the last few you can technically just pop on. Give it a tap with a hammer. Make sure it's in snug. And that's it. Almost to the top. I'll show you guys the finishing up there. And then we can put on our barrel rings. Wrap it all around. Alright, so once you guys get to the top section here, you can get a lot of work from the outside, but honestly it's easier if you just go inside and just tap them all into place. My hand is fine. We're gonna get one more regular one. And then we have these finishing pieces here to finish the top. So you have these two with the flat edges. They might be enough to meet in the middle. If not, we have the thinner one and the thicker or both to finish it. And all this wood after a while will probably shrink. You are might need that extra piece, so definitely save it because you might have to fill it in here. And I think after a month you want to tighten the metal bands that we're gonna put on in a minute, and then after 6 months again. So this is just common maintenance. Just check the manual, whatever it says. So I'm gonna pop these in and see where we are right now. So as you guys can see, nice flush edge. And we're gonna get our other one in here. Yeah, looks like we are gonna need a spacer. Pop in my big spacer first. And I think that's gonna be good, guys. You wanna show them here, Alex? Because once we're gonna tighten everything with the metal bands, it's all gonna get squeezed together. I've got a 1/4 inch gap right now, but once we tighten it, it should be snug. And then after a while, this wood shrinks. It is kiln dried, so it shouldn't shrink too much, but if it shrinks, you have this extra piece to add on later on. So definitely don't use it for firewood. Next, we pop on the bands. So those are the steel bands. They're gonna go around in 3 pieces. I'll show you guys in a second. First, we just gotta pop in these aluminum tabs here. So basically, our bolts here are gonna go through. And the way you're gonna set up the bolts, you're gonna put your nut here, like this. The washer is gonna go through one, and from the top, we're gonna tighten with this nut. First put this, then tighten with this nut, put the washer, and then close it up with that. So I'll show you guys that in a second. First, I'm just gonna pop these and get them set up. and then we'll wrap them around. Alrighty, so we're gonna pop these over. I'm gonna keep the bolts on that side, as that's the side that we're not gonna be walking around. I'm gonna keep this side clean. Just gotta slide this under. So I'm putting the first one in front of my legs here. That next one is going to be in front of the leg over here, and I'll give you guys a close-up in this area. And then the last one's going to be on the back of the last leg under. Basically like this. The outside of the leg, either side works here in the middle, and on the outside of this leg. And I'll show you guys how to tighten it all up. So basically this is the setup from the bottom, and it's going to be the same setup from the top. This is aluminum spacer, washer, the nut, and then the finishing nut. The directions are on the side or somewhere right on the channel. 7/16 and 9/16 wrenches. That's not what you need for these. These are actually 17mm, so that's what we're using. You can use a deep socket ratchet, or handheld or adjustable. So let me show you guys now how to install these. So you want to get these two connected. Get the bolt through your spacers. Just like that. Now you pop in this spacer, or a washer. Yep. Before I start tightening, you want to make sure it's all lined up nicely here. Even hit it with a tape measure. So I'm about 8 inches from the edge here. Actually 7. Excuse me. The bottom can go only 7, so we're gonna match it up to 7 everywhere. Perfect. Tighten it up a little, but we're not gonna even close to fully tighten, as we want to get all 3 on first, and then you want to little by little tighten each one. I'm just gonna give a gentle secure for now, and then do the next till. Now I'll show you guys what's next. Tighten up the bands little by little. You want to start getting the tabs all around, wherever it's uneven, to make sure you get the bolts into place. And then tighten a little more and keep going, so you get a nice even. But so far we look pretty good. So I'll tighten it a little bit more now, and it's gonna be good. Just little by little tighten. You can use a hand wrench. I'm using my Impact, but I have it in a really low setting, so it's delicate. And that's it, a little bit at a time. I'll keep going until it's all nice and snug. For ratchet around it, tighten it up, and then use the band but it's not necessary, but it can make your life easier. Yeah. And that's about how much you're gonna tighten them up. So like an inch, a couple inches from top and bottom. Now we'll just put a little nice finishing caps on, tighten those up on the bottom and top, and that's done. We can move on to the inside. So the finish I did, for the finish I did use hand wrenches, not the drill, just to have a feel for it. But this is basically what it's gonna look like when it's all done. All right, guys, we move to the inside now. We have to start installing our benches. So we want to install our center support strut here. Measure it out from even distance from the wall, so you have it in the middle, just about. And then bench is gonna sit on these 2x4s on the sides here, and this middle one. So we want to make sure we level this out. So first, I'm gonna check where my middle is. Mark that out. Alright, so this is 66, so we're going to be about the 33 mark. So right about there. And now we're just going to level it. Using the same screws we used for the base, the C screw. One on the bottom, two on the top. Grab our bench. Line it up. And those we're going to screw down with the shorter B screws. And all the holes are already pre-drilled, so you know exactly where to go. And I'll show you guys a close-up in a second. And there you go. 1, 2, 2 in the middle, and 2 back here. We got 1 screw here. Those 2 up top there. And that's our 1 bench. Now we're going to this side, and then the outside benches. And there we go. Inside benches all set. Now we'll do these outside ones. Give you guys a better view of this. Alright guys, for the outside benches, similar idea to the inside, except we're keeping this a little closer to the edge. And I noticed that at least in this kit, the 2x4s to put your bench on top of here were missing. So I had to custom make mine. And thank God we had a couple extra of the staves that I used for the surround. So I cut one to size. So I think 13.5 inches. Leveled it out with each side, and that way we have a support beam for the wall. So let me show you guys how to quickly install the bench. First we put this piece on. Obviously it should be here already, but it wasn't in our case. can grab your bench, line up where this needs to go. I'm putting it right flush against this. Level it all out. Perfect. Lucky there. I'll put the bottom screw in first. Get the top screws in. And I'll just pop this guy on with the shorter screws. Those are the B's. The other ones were the C's, the longer. And there's our bench. Very cool. Also already put up towel hanger. You can put that anywhere you want, inside, outside. They recommend to put it right here. Uses a couple of the B screws. Very simple. We're gonna pop in our floor now. It's optional, but we got it with this kit. So that just slides in. I'll show you guys that in a second. And we can move on to the roof. So the floor just pops right in. You don't have to secure it down. You can, but it's not necessary. Just like that. Then we also have the piece for the outside. Just like that. Alright guys, now what we got left. This wooden gable trim, it's optional, but I'm doing the shingles. So this is gonna go up around here. 6 pieces in the front, 6 in the back. Also, if you notice, we got these backrests here. These are just loose. You can pop them in here, you can pop them in the inside. So that comes with it as well. And I also just popped in the stove guard. That's just loose right now because it has to mount on the wall once the stove is installed. And yeah. These get installed with a little A screws about 1 inch long. And basically run it from the middle, 3 to each side. Finish these up. Do the back. And we can move on to the shingles. And that's what it looks like. And then the back. And that's about it, guys. Next we'll do shingles. All you have left to do is now install this triangle strip. You see one side is narrow, one is wider. The wider goes in the bottom so the water can run off. And once you install the shingles, you're gonna sit right, flush a little bit over it. And that's gonna be your starting and finishing point for the shingles for each side. That uses 4 B screws. Just level it when you install it in. That's it. Alright guys, and that's what we did for the sauna assembly. I am going to be doing the shingles as well, but I'm going to do that in a separate video, just not to make this one too long. I'll put a link below. Just check out my channel, check out the sauna section. I'm also doing a build of a custom built sauna from scratch in my backyard right now, if you are interested in something doing yourself instead of a pre-assembled kit like this. But anyway, check it out. It's pretty cool. The seats work. And then you still have the light that we need to install, but we need wiring for electricians, so we're not installing that light yet. We already got our temperature and humidity thermometer over there. And then we just gotta pop in the heater. The heater is gonna be electric heater, Wi-Fi enabled. So we'll do a follow-up to show you guys how that looks when it's installed. We just gotta get an electrician to run the line here. But yeah, if you're planning to visit the hotel in the next couple of weeks, well, after I post this video, probably already ready to go. You're gonna have a sauna here as well now. Guys, appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, follow, and check me out for more.
All right, guys, sauna's all complete. Hotel Vienna, where it's at. Come check it out. By the time you watch this video, this will be ready, up and running. 6 people sauna. Got a little shade here from the snow and rain. It's pretty awesome. Right next to the jacuzzi over there. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, follow my channel. I have more videos on sauna builds. I'm building a custom one in my backyard right now. Check that out. I have a full video of this one, and then I have the separate video of the shingle build. So thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.